is called Mind Your Manners in School. I chose this book. I know you always do that. I chose this book because I am so happy when our Huskies use their Husky Pride. And Husky Pride is about using your manners, right? And the other book I'm going to read I thought was very clever. And it's called It Could Have Been Worse. But I'm going to read the manners book first. So this book, the title is Mind Your Manners in School. And it has two authors, Ariana Candle and Rosa Curto. So let's see about minding your manners in school. Back to school. John is going to a new school, but he doesn't want to go. He tells his mother that he doesn't know his classmates, his teacher, or his new classroom. And a girl in his class sees that John is very sad. She meets him outside the school and takes his hand. Anne and John soon become close friends. Here's Anne and here's John. Isn't that nice that Anne did that? Yeah. It's always nice when you get a new student in your class or your school.
How does he walk with his eyes closed?
Good question. I don't know.
I just stand up. My sister always has to walk.
Really? Be an early bird. Anne is an early bird and is always first to arrive at school. Peter, however, is often late. Snuggled under his blankets, he has a hard time getting up. Then he thinks of his waiting classmates and he jumps up. Are you an early bird? Listen to my question.
No.
If your mom and dad have to call you many times to get up in the morning, raise your hand.
No, I don't. But just you?
I don't have a mom and dad that get me up in the morning, but I hit snooze a few times. Okay, hands down. Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you're an early bird that you love getting up early in the morning. Nice. Some of you raised your hands for both. Sometimes during the work week, I don't want to get up because it's so early, but on the weekends, I get to sleep in a little bit, right, like you get to. It's nice to be an early bird, though, because then you can get things done in the morning. It's hard when you're always rushing in the morning, isn't it?
Yep.
Learn to be patient. Today, the children are learning to work with clay. Peter is making some awesome animals that never break. Lauren is not as patient as Peter. She looks upset and just can't get started. Peter sees this and offers to help her. Now she's happy with the clay figure she's making. Sometimes you just have to be patient, don't you? That's really hard for students. And guess what? It's really hard for first grade students, isn't it? Sometimes it's really hard to just wait and be patient. But it's really good to be patient, isn't it? That's part of having Husky Pride. Save your questions till the end. This is really important. Washing your hands. Playing on the playground is so much fun. The children play ball, jump rope, and play with sand. When they go back to the classroom, all the kids must wash their hands. Anne doesn't like to wait in line. Sometimes she goes straight back to her table. Laura reminds her to clean her hands or she may get their books and school supplies dirty. There's another reason we need to wash our hands. Can you think of it? Yep.
Germs.
Yeah, germs. Right now it's flu season, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And flu season. My mom was sick. It's flu season.
It is flu season. So we need to wash our hands a lot, right?
Yeah. And don't put our hands in our mouth.
Don't put your hands in your mouth. That's a great tip. Yeah. Keep your hands clean and out of your mouth.
Yes.
Oh dear. Here's a hard one. Learning to share.
I know how to share.
The toys at school are for everyone, and classmates should share them. Nora's older brother always lets her borrow his box of colored pencils. However, when Nora brings some storybooks to school, she doesn't want to let anyone borrow them. When she realizes that her classmates like to read new stories as much as she does, she finally shares her books. It's great to share, isn't it? And that's part of having Husky Pride as well, that we like to share. Everybody play! When games are played in the playground or in the classroom, the more people who play, the better. Paul and Lucy especially enjoy playing ball, and they want several kids to play with them. They both know that it's more fun to include everyone. That's why all the children at their school get a chance to play. It's nice to include everyone when we're playing, isn't it? Especially when we're outside at recess. It's not very nice when you're playing and some children don't get to play with you right. That's not using your Husky Pride. Is everybody ready? Today the children will paint a picture to take home. They can't begin because Mary is still walking around. Everyone must be seated and ready before they can start. Martin has to call her to sit next to him. Then, at last, she rushes to her seat. When Mrs. Fairbanks is ready to do an assignment or something in class, can she do it if someone's walking around?
No.
Everyone has to be seated and ready, right? Because that's part of
Husky Pride.
Oh boy. Quiet, quiet. It has been several days since school started, and John is feeling better about school every day. He has so many friends and so many things to talk about. He talks even when he should listen to the teacher or work quietly. This bothers his classmates who want to hear what the teacher has to say. They often have to ask John to be quiet and pay attention. Oh no. When Mrs. Fairbanks is talking, can one of you be talking at the same time? No. Because that's not using your
Husky Pride.
Right. You know what? When I come into this classroom and Mrs. Fairbanks is talking, I never hear one of you talking. You're all listening, so you are using your Husky Pride. Good job, Mrs. Fairbanks. That's not funny. It isn't easy to say who likes to kid around the most in class, but David and Rachel surely like to tease their classmates. They often make jokes that are not always funny. Sometimes their jokes are cruel, and they are the only ones who laugh, and they hurt children's feelings. Jokes are only funny when everyone can enjoy them. Should we tease other students?
No.
No, because that's not using our
Husky Pride. What is that? What is that?
This boy is pulling on that girl's bow that's in her hair. That's not nice, is it? It looks like it's hurting her, doesn't it? We don't put our hands on people, right?
Yeah.
You guys would never do that, I know. Pick up and clean up. We all know that after playing and working, it's time to pick up and clean up. Pick up toys and waste paper after cutting. Clean your brushes after using paints, and put away your supplies. We all know this, but don't always do it. In John's class, they had a good idea. Every day, one classmate makes sure everyone helps to keep the classroom clean. Today, it's Adrian's turn. So that's like a class helper that reminds everyone else that they need to clean up their space and take care of their room. Your room looks fabulous, so you guys must do a great job of putting away your things, right?
Yeah.
Helping each other. How high can you count? Did you know that even if we wanted to, we could never finish counting? Do you know that?
Yeah.
That's because you guys are really smart. Numbers are infinite. That means that they continue forever. Paul and Nora have a great time playing with numbers. Lucy and David find math a little difficult. Since the four of them are friends, they help one another. This makes their work seem easier, so math is more fun. For some people, math is really easy, and for some people, math is a little bit harder. Just like for some people, reading is easy, and for some people, reading is harder, right?
I'm a good reader.
Are you a good reader?
Yeah.
So it's really nice when we help each other learn in school, because that's using our Husky pride. Let's talk about it. Do you think that kids who hit other kids are stronger and braver?
No.
No. Peter doesn't. He explains to Laura that these kids haven't learned to solve their problems by talking. He knows that words can help to make friends, so he pushes fighters away. If you have fights often, try to find solutions by talking like Peter does. We don't ever fight each other at Holly Academy, do we? No.
And you don't push
And you don't push people away either. What would be a good thing to do if someone was like wanting to like fight with you? What would be a good thing?
To say stop or tell an adult if they keep doing it.
I love it. To say stop or to tell an adult if they keep doing it. Yep, because that's using your
Husky pride.
Husky pride and manners. You're right. Yeah. You're lucky. John, Ann, Peter, Nora, Paul, Lucy, Martin, Mary, David, Rachel, and Adrian are about to finish school. They have learned to live together with their group. They respect and help one another. And this is as important as all the learning they accomplish. They are very lucky because they have learned to share so much together. Because they're like a little family in the classroom, right? Like you guys are. Everyone is different. As you have seen, not everyone likes to do the same things. Some can draw very well, and others can read or do math well. We can help one another by sharing our talents. No two people are exactly alike, and that's why we can always learn something from someone else. And that's our book about manners, right?
Those two are twins.
They are twins, aren't they? I know. Good. Raise your hand if you liked the book about manners. Nice job. Okay, listen to me carefully. You guys must have wonderful manners because you've been so good sitting here listening to the story. Your classroom looks fabulous. Every time I come in, you guys are doing what you need to be doing and listening to Mrs. Fairbanks. So you have wonderful manners and great Husky pride, right?